It's January, and at the racing lofts it's a chilly affair, sorting through the birds and choosing which pigeons will be put together to produce my future champion. With a new season ahead of us, I'm actually putting serious thought into my new strategy for building this summer's young bird team. There's always the risk with these flimsy biscuits, isn't it, Rufus? There's a chance you dunk it too much. Be a bit of a professional. Oh, I got it on camera. I was being cocky then, wasn't I? I'm hoping my biscuit flop isn't a sign of things to come, because I've got an ingenious plan. It's upsetting. Right, let's get these birds sorted. Got my book, because we've got some birds now on eggs. So what I've done is I've chosen some birds that I want to breed from. My best birds. Yep, 2 eggs in 1983. Ooh, 1 egg in the new pair. That's brilliant. Right, so I've got 4 pairs in there. And 1983's laid both eggs. She was straight on it. She's 2 days in. The others have all got 1 egg each, which I think were laid this morning. Because I don't have a stock loft filled with stock pigeons, I have to breed from my race team to get baby pigeons for my young bird team. The trouble is, I don't really know the likelihood of them breeding good pigeons, because I haven't had chance to test their offspring in races. But I do have a few racers that performed well or have good genes, and so I'm hoping to get double the young racing pigeons from them by fostering their eggs to the unknown entities in the loft next door. A third of the viewers of this channel are over in the UK, the rest of you are all over the world. Australia, New Zealand, Japan, America, Canada, Norway, a few in Belgium, not many in Europe actually. Some snacks you will have seen on the Pigeon Racer TV channel. It's basically another channel that I set up. More serious pigeon related stuff. This channel's just the fun of racing and my experience in it. With Pigeon Racer TV, I felt like there was a need for it, because a lot of people get their information from video. You know, how to train your pigeons all right, but I'm not an expert, and that's more just to show people how much fun it can be and how problematic it can be, but there's no real solutions, and I don't want it to be political. Pigeon Racer TV can be as political as we like, and not in a bad way, but in a way of moving the sport forward. And so if you're not from the UK, you probably don't know what the RPRA is, but it's basically our organisation, or our governing body for the majority of England. So there's a big thing coming up, big vote, about how the RPRA is governed, because there's been a problem for years and years with the amount of flyers in the UK. It's just been diminishing every decade. Loads and loads of people are leaving the sport, and there's not enough people getting into the sport. And one argument is that that's because kids don't want to get involved now. They've got PlayStations and phones and all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't necessarily hold water, because in Poland, Romania, China, they've got loads of technology, and yet the sport's growing there. So that tells you that there's something else. And me and Malcolm, we became delegates for our club, and we went down and we voted for these changes to happen, because something's got to change. You know, there's got to be more drive to get people into the sport, into the hobby, because it's a great sport. It can be anyway.
The system that we've got is very, very dated. We've got a lot of older people that do not want to drive anymore. Younger people that have got families. We're on about we can send emails in, but you can't do voting by your phone. It was all right when there was 50 and 60 members in a club. It worked well. Now, 90% of the clubs in this country have got less than 10 members.
That was a close one.
What?
Good job we came down, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Made the difference, didn't it?
Passed, didn't it? By 2 votes.
Yeah.
Our 2 votes.
That's it.
Right. Let's go back. Back at the loft, and buoyed by the prospect of the RPRA being dragged into the 21st century, albeit 25 years late, I roped Archie into manning the camera for the morning. Right, today, Arch, we have to float the eggs we've got 4 pairs of pigeons in there that are our best breeders and racers over the last few years. And so we only want a racing team this year of birds that are from these pairs. We've got a couple of old long distance birds that we're going to let raised chicks in there as well. What we've done is we've paired these up at the same time as letting them sort of run amok, those that are in there. And as these lay eggs, we're going to take the eggs and then float them, put them under the pairs in here, and we'll just discard their eggs. And so what we should end up, and then once we've done that, these will lay more eggs as well, 10 or 12 days later. So what we should have is a round from these that are in there, and then another round from these that are in there. So a maximum of 8 chicks in there and another 8 in there. So we could potentially get 16 from this this system. It's the first time I've done it, and that's just because when we've bred these before, they've actually turned out really well. Right, we've got 2 eggs down there now, which is good, and 2 in there. So I need my notepad so I don't forget who's going where. You know, when I was accusing you of farting earlier, Archie, I think it's the farm. You can smell it. It smells like farm and this muck spreading. Right, so what I've got here is just a quick note. I'll lay this out nicely later, just so I don't forget who's who. So 1983, she went down straight away, laid her first egg on the 27th and 28th. And then Darla 94 and 1998, the 2 really good birds they are. They laid on the 29th and 31st in the morning, so evening and morning, I think. And then we floated those under box 6 and box 7 in section 1. And then we've got section 2 that we can float some under, because I think they'll have laid their 2nd egg today, so that's what we want to check. And then, in fact, I'm going to try these first. We're going to need a good scrape. So the problem with breeding time is the floor gets covered in muck. I'll give them this for now. So it's scraping out, you disturb them. Because I built 2 separate lofts at different times, it means tasks like this are made harder, because I'm moving birds and eggs from building to building. Whereas if I had one big loft with multiple sections and a corridor, all of this would be made much easier. The old switcheroo. Right now, I'm taking away the eggs from the random pairings of my race team and replacing them with the 2 eggs from the pairs of my best birds, which will then be able to lay again and rear their own chicks in a few weeks. There we go. And then just got to feed these in the end there, and that'll be it. Work around the loft steps up around breeding time. I decided to add some straw to help the broody birds build a nest should they want to. They have nest felt liners in their nest bowls, but this helps them feel more comfortable. This is a really good time to get the kids involved too. They can do the simple jobs like watering and feeding. I've found if you keep it fun and non-regimented, it's the best way to get them interested. That and the prospect of winning some cash.
I just tipped all the dirty water out because they'll have their feathers in, they'll have their poo in. It's important.
I'm about to enter my 4th year racing pigeons. I'm still as interested now as I was when I started, but I find it bemusing how the hobby seems to be an analogy of itself. There's this excitement you feel on race day, staring at the sky on a warm summer's morning, waiting on the birds to return. Things are good, and it's what the sport is about. Then there's the underlying filth in the deep litter, the bits of poo you find under your fingernails after a thorough cleaning out of the loft. Nobody enjoys that bit, but it has to happen to make the loft function properly. It's the messy, nitty-gritty politics. We're always looking for ways to make our pigeons fly faster, our lofts better, and ourselves wiser. To be more successful in the sport and to get maximum enjoyment from it, we put all of this time and effort into improving and streamlining our lofts, yet less so into our sport at large.